Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning to the Late Night Leos. This is Morgan from Thor Gecko. Tonight, I have Matthew Blackcloud of Noah's Ark Reptile Adventures. Matthew, you want to say hello to everybody?
How's it going?
It's going awesome here. So why don't we just dive into the history of you and animals and where you got started and where your passion came from?
Oh man, probably as far back as I can remember, growing up in Southern California and all over. My mom was a sheriff in Orange County, so got to experience a lot of the coastal areas as a little kid. And then growing up at my grandparents' house, like at the foot of Big Bear Mountains, all kinds of crazy wildlife. And my mom, started with helping me catch the little blue belly fence lizards. And I remember having those in the little critter keeper, tanks, and then catching all the toads, and then going over to Lake Matthews down in Riverside and finding my first horny toad as a kid, and thinking, oh man, this is the coolest lizard I've ever seen. And unfortunately for me, I didn't know what I was doing, and the lizard did pass away. But doing research now, it's a very hard lizard because they're anteaters, so no wonder I didn't want to eat any crickets. But passion started as a child. Just mom kind of didn't want me to be afraid. I was the only child at the time, and she wanted me to, be that kid that was being raised by a strong single mom.
Yeah.
And it just grew from there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, did you keep any animals as a child? Were you allowed to, or?
Well, I got my first snake at 12. Before that, all the ones I had were the ones I caught, like the California rosy boas, stuff like that, and I would sneak them in, and my mom's like, nope, get those out of the house. But she finally gave in for my 12th birthday, and she bought me an albino Burmese python baby. The person at the store said, oh, no, these snakes don't get very big. Because I can't figure it out. I think so, she wasn't too happy with me. So the following year, I'm like, I want to say she gave
Yeah. 12 feet later.
12 feet later, and she gets me a ball python or something that stays like in the shape of a brown and black rock, and that's all it does when you hold it, and you really want to venture out, and then you go to the one that all of us do with the rock. But it was different.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Noah's Ark Reptile Adventure and the kind of species that you guys take in.
Well, Noah's Ark started about 8 years ago. My wife told me that I could start having reptiles again because I was battling cancer for a long time, so she just wanted me to focus on my health. And so I was like, okay. Well, she knew I had a whole assortment for we met, and so we went out and I got a couple of white tree frogs. I was like, I'll ease her into something cute. Here's look at this white dumpy tree frog. Look, it smiles at you. And shortly after that, a very close friend of mine named Ron, a lot of people in the industry in Northern California, he called me. He's like, hey, Matt. He's like, I heard that you're doing better. He's like, I have some reptiles for you. And next thing you know, my wife says her eyes are bugging on her head as the secondary living room is now my zoo. And it just grew from there. And then people at church,   started calling us because they didn't have or their child left for school, and it was like, oh, can you take this bearded dragon, the leopard geckos, and, the list goes on and on. And eventually we had, the phone calls, oh, hey, can you take this pot-bellied pig, or could you take these guinea pigs in, or these rabbits, or, or these cockatiels, these lovebirds, all the list goes on. And my wife was doing the dishes one day, and she was like, you know what? She's like, we're a modern-day Noah's Ark. We have everything here. And I was like, I had the name just stuck, and I was going to seminary at the time, and I was like, Noah's Ark Reptile Adventure. And I went with it, and one of the pastors at our church asked us if I would do a ministry-style education program on God's creation, and I brought in a bunch of small, mediocre stuff for the younger bracket, and then I had some stuff put away, and then I pulled out the big snakes, and that's when the pastor was like, oh, okay, I'm leaving the room right now, and I'm like, hey, these are all God's creation, man. This is what you wanted me to do. And it started from there because, as reptile owners, a lot of us get a bad rap, in my opinion, as like the weirdos or the sideshow freaks, or, even if you look at like the old movies, when they show the carnies, they're the ones, the man covered in lizards, or the snake lady. It's just like, no, we're just normal people. Or my favorite is, oh, you own snakes and you let the devil in your house. I'm like, really? Really? Like, okay. Going from the person that is the stereotypical Christian that doesn't go to church, that just wants to judge everybody, to the person that wants to show the light of the church and show the light of creation.
Yeah.
That's what Noah's Ark is all about. It's about what we were supposed to do. We were supposed to have dominion over all these animals and care for them. And sometimes, a lot of these animals need a helping hand.
Yeah.
It's
definitely.
I would say any garage or backroom breeder will tell you, they started thinking this was going to be an easy thing for them to make money, and they realized they spend more hours working with their animals than they do their 9-to-5 job.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it gets pretty crazy. And that's part of how you end up with these animals too, is the people, overbreeding all these also, and then everybody wants to breed on top of what they got from the big breeders. And, I bet you get a lot of animals where people are just, they're overwhelmed with it, right?
There were times where we got phone calls. There was a guy that had a bunch of different snakes. I don't know how, or wasn't my business. He spent a lot of money on a park and got overwhelmed, and here I am taking in a bunch of large furry pythons, and I'm like, what am I going to do with these? No one cares who bred them. Especially if they're mean. With a 14-plus foot angry snake that has never got attention. It's lived in a 4-foot by 1 foot by 2 foot tub its entire life, and every time you go to get to it, it just thinks, oh, it's food time, and then it comes springing out at you. As a person that's disabled, it gets nerve-wracking. Like, oh, you always keep that roll of medical gauze and tape.
Yeah.
And then you get the what they call those hashtags, big snake problems.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I'm glad that I don't have to deal with any of that big snake stuff.
Oh, no, I love the big stuff. They're so fun to work with and so amazing creatures and just gifts. But the things that amaze me the most are the tiny ones. You know, like the little dart frogs. I mean, those things. There's so many different scientific names for them, and I'm like, I'm the worst. I'll admit it. I hate the Latin names. I'm like, it's the red one with the blue legs. I want that one. You know. It's just, or hey, what about that all gold one? You know, those ones are cool. Yeah. I sound like a little kid when I'm at looking at like the frog booths at the reptile shows. I'm like, oh man, check out this blue and black one over here. They're like, oh, that's, you know, Alturas, Prometheus, you know. I'm like, I don't care. I want that one. I'm on. Yeah. I go, do you have normal names for the stupid people? You know. Can I get the frog that looks like Spider-Man? There you go, Spider-Man frog, right there. That one.
Yeah, they definitely need better market names for those.
Yeah, it's like sometimes like there's a lot of people in the industry that think that they're not true reptile people. And I'm like, you know what? Anyone that has a passion for anything that's creepy, crawly, and slimy, you say, my hat's off to you. You know, for the people that want to learn all the Latin names and all the scientific names to make you, you know, to make yourself feel better, sleep better at night, you know, all actuality, you know, it's a ball python. Yeah, one of the other names are royal pythons and all this other nonsense. But the bottom line is, hey, you got a python species, you got a boa species, you got a colubrid, you got all your other. And it's just, I don't care which ones do you have. Are they nice?
Yeah, right.
You go to the zoo and you see, you know, a snow leopard. You're like, oh, check out the snow leopard. And then you see a really long name underneath it. Do you care to read that long name? No? You want her to go see a snow leopard. I mean,
exactly.
My daughter's going to the zoo here next week for school, and they're asking me, you know, the kids in her class are all asking me, I'm the animal guy, hey, you know, what do you know about a snow leopard? They're pretty and they have a long tail. you have one at home? No, son. I don't have one.
Oh, jeez.
What I find most rewarding is, as a combat veteran that has PTSD, I take some of my reptiles out to these PTSD groups through the VA, and it's really fun to see some of these veterans bond with these reptiles, and they calm down. Meanwhile, they have a service dog that's supposed to be there to help calm them down. And
yeah,
you can't go after. Let's just face it, not everybody's a dog person. Not everybody's a cat person. Not everybody's a snake, lizard, frog person. Turtle person. It's not, I would have to confess that was my biggest fear, was calling a tarantula. I was like, man, I will stick the hook down and fish out a rattlesnake before I even see the tarantula. But and that's how it happened, because what was like the first two calls I got was spider removal. There was tarantulas in this person's cabin that they recently purchased, and I was like,
oh wow.
And there's a Goliath bird eater in the corner of a room, like in a closet, and I'm like, it's a spider.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want me to do with it? They're like, well, you're the guy. Remove it. And I'm like, I guess. I'm just kidding. I didn't burn it down, but it was a very interesting removal.
Yeah, I can't.
I kind of felt like Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura to Africa when he came running out of the Batcave.
Yeah, yeah.
Here, but it was more like a recover here. But yeah. Eventually came to like them. I own a couple Mexican red knees, which they're pretty fascinating. I've wrote a couple sermons on the life of a tarantula in comparison to a life of a Christian, and a lot of people actually related to that.
Wow.
So I mean,
so you must have like setups and enclosures for all different kinds of animals, just like ready for one to come to your place, right?
On a good day, yeah, I would say that. I do have an assortment of enclosures, and I have, the obvious, snake racks and tub systems like a lot of breeders have. But when it comes to, I always have like the side of my garage, and people would keep like their lawn equipment is, totes full of like water dishes, one with hides, one with lamps, heat pads. I ended up ordering off of Amazon the huge amount of the cocoa fiber bricks. So I always have substrate, ready to make at a moment's notice. But I've learned, through trial and error, you really can't always have a cage set up because then you run out of room. You're like, because you don't know what you're going to get called for. Like, last week, 2 pixie frogs came in. Garbage is awesome, but they're to be cared for. You get the weird calls. Oh, hey, do you take fish? Sure. I'm going to put these fish, but, I end up making a phone call, and I have friends that have fish tanks and fish people, and I'm like, hey, wouldn't happen to want any of these piranhas, would you? I go, it was just a phone call, dude. I'm just asking, do you want some? Because I don't want them dumped into a lake,
Yeah.
Yeah, and you really don't want to tell someone like, oh, hey, well, technically allowed to be owned. So how big is it? Maybe we can pan fry it and deep fry it for you. That's not what people want to hear. Because people look at fish as, we do our reptiles and people do their dogs. But sometimes they say no.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Phone calls for your phone call there. 18-foot Burmese python.
Yeah. Hey, Matthew, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are you there?
You're cutting out pretty bad there.
Oh, sorry. Still need a triangle. Or I can just say it's iPhone problems.
Yeah, I'm on an iPhone too, so. Yeah, well, we could just blame it on Blog Talk because, I mean, that's probably what it is.
Oh, there you go. Well, you know, us iPhone people got to stick together. We're going to blame it on the third party.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with Apple. It's perfect and wonderful.
Yes. Please don't hack our phones, CIA.
Yeah, right. Or any child down the street.
Yeah, exactly.
So you get a lot of chameleons, and I saw sulcatas on your page. Is that something that you got in as a rescue?
Actually, yeah. We got over the past couple of years, we've gotten mainly get the little ones in, but we've gotten some big ones. I think the picture you're probably referring to is, I think there's a picture of my son. I think he was like 7 or 8 months at the time, hugging on top of a shell. He was riding it across my living room, if that's the picture I'm thinking of.
I think I saw something like that too. And babies. I saw babies.
Yeah, the babies are a pretty popular call. Like, you know, the girl in high school that killed a tortoise, and she gets accepted to some college and doesn't have it's a story on that one. She had 2 of them, and the mom got my number through search that. It's, you know, it's pretty. History of some animals. They recently brought in, recently, in the past couple months, I think in beginning of January or mid-January, we brought in an adult rhinoceros iguana. And, man, that is a ray of sunshine. It's like picture a lizard that was a dog or should have been born a dog. That's this lizard. You know, you wake up to, because he was the way resorts didn't have enough time with him, and he was and we were privileged enough to use in our educational program. So a lot of time free roaming, and he'll go and his luxurious setup, but a lot of time out of the cage. So it's like, you know, you get that feeling when you were a kid, you wake up and then it's like your dog trying to cuddle with you.
Yeah.
And he wants to burrow underneath your pillows. So looking at each other, you're looking at, you know, the face of an iguana, and you're like, dude, Chumley, what the heck, man? But he's a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah. It's amazing that people don't realize what kind of personalities reptiles can have.
Oh, yeah. Usually I laugh when animals are like, oh, this is this little reptile bed, and it's like a fitted cat bed or a ferret, and you're like, really? It's a lizard. Now, I was surprised. This iguana will drag his pillow wherever he goes. I mean, he also does other things to the pillows that we're not going to talk about on radio, but it's pretty amazing, like, how much personality this guy has.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great that you're able to, you know, get to care for all these animals and really get to know so many different species.
Yes. I mean, I love salamanders. Those are my two favorite of, the frog species in general are just they're so amazing, and people don't realize how privileged you are if you have frogs that live in your backyard or in your surrounding area, because they're biological markers. And the simplest thing that you can do, even fertilizing your plants, can eradicate and, drive a species out or even kill them. And so if you hear frogs at night, hey, feel privileged that the fact that you live in such a clean environment, and they seem clean, but it's clean. I mean, even touching them, the salt from our hands that we secrete can hurt their skin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's so much work and research and trying to figure out everything, and we've been in process of filing for our 5 We're almost there. It's a lot of paperwork. It's not an easy task. It's not something that you're like, oh, I'm going to go file for it today and I'll have it tomorrow. No, it's a long process. And, the IRS, okay, do you have people working for you? Where's your money coming in from? Or, how much money are you spending on rats? So, how much are you doing on this? How much are you doing on that? And because you have a 501 doesn't mean that you're going to be the next millionaire. Like you see these other nonprofit organizations like the ASPCA, which is all these Fortune 500 billionaires that all they do is, we're trying to be the right and be the light of the community. And it's just hard, especially when I'm blessed where I have people that come help out when my health isn't the best. I've been battling health issues. I've been in and out of surgery for the last 3 years. So it's been February. And still having complications from it. So but not, I think that and how tired I am, I can just go into the reptile room area of the house, and I just sit on the couch in there. I look at the huge dart frog enclosure. I look at the tree frogs. I look at the monitors. I'm just like, man, it's a mess, but it's my mess.
It's like paradise.
I'm over to past it, and I'm like, yeah. They're like, why you have so many reptiles? I'm like, because I love them.
Yeah. They sure don't understand.
Oh no, but you know what? The scripture says, "Clean after the one," and it seems like every year when I do, like my daughter's, like one of the best teachers I've met, and he has just a passion for teaching, and he sees my passion for teaching kids about animals. So every year, before he even became my daughter's teacher, and I was blessed that he became my daughter's teacher, he always has me come do a program. And now when his kids see me and their parents come see me, they're like, oh, after my kids saw your show, 3 years ago, now we have 2 leopard geckos and we're getting our first snake. What do you think we should get? We're debating between a ball python and a red-tailed boa. And I'm like, well, what do you want to stare at, a pet rock or something active? Are you the in the enclosures and the needs? I mean, you're two different things. A snake stays relatively small to one that gets relatively big. It's but it's amazing. It's rewarding at the end of the day. Like when you see people, even at your own church, hey, we got a snake today. Right on. Give me a call if you need anything, And half the time when my friends call me, it's, hey, do you have any or dick in my stuff? Or, hey, could you use anything? I'm like, sure. Bring over a goodie box. You know what I use. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's really about causing division in the reptile community. This person, a reptile flipper, or person, you know,